Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Brad Lee is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, kids, I've got a real treat for you. Stefan Aarnio, what's cracking?
Hey, Brad, good to be here, man.
Man, it's good to have you. I'm looking at your picture here on the little prep sheet my team gives me, and you look like frickin' not the same.
I know, dude. I look like Charles Manson now. I look like a pretty boy on the sheet, but I went to the jungle. I fasted for 40 days. I grew a beard. I didn't eat. I grew this beard, and I'm like, man, I'm just going with it now.
You fasted for 40 days?
Yeah, man. I didn't eat anything for 40 days, and then...
I thought you'd die after 2 weeks of not eating anything.
No, dude. You go till you're 2% body fat. Then you start starving. So you can, I don't know how much body fat you got, but
I probably got fucking 30.
No, man, you're not 30. You're probably like 20, 17, 18, I don't know. But you can go for a long time, man. You can go for a long time, and you don't starve. You just render down your fat, and yeah, man, I found God in the jungle, so I grew this beard.
What did he look like?
White light, man.
Was he a female?
I don't know if God is really a person, but it certainly was. It certainly was light, and it was a moment of surrender, if you will.
What jungle?
Costa Rica.
Ooh, that's a pretty cool jungle.
Yeah, dude, there's scorpions and snakes and armadillos and lots of monkeys.
Yeah. I loved, I was at the Four Seasons, but same thing. Costa Rica Four Seasons is fucking nice down there.
Yeah, man.
So, folks, for those of you that may have not have heard of my man Stefan, rhymes with effin'.
That's right, bro.
Apparently, he's a multi-millionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Started out with $1,200. He's written 5 books. You got a podcast, popular one.
That's right. Respect the grind.
Respect the grind.
We got to get you on that show. We'll do it over Zoom.
You're running around making dough, and then you take a 40-day break and run out to the jungle and starve yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, I do it every year. Every year I go to the jungle, but this year I did the full 40-day.
You bring a girl with you?
No, dude, you can't. You can't. Like, when you're fasting, you can't. There's girl trips. Like, I'm in Vegas right now visiting you, and this is a girl destination. You bring girls here. You don't bring girls to the jungle, man.
Well, certain ones you can.
Like who?
Well, you never heard you don't bring sand to the beach? Well, you definitely bring a girl to the jungle. Because what are you going to do? Hump a monkey? Are you just out there to find yourself?
Yeah, well, it's when you go out there, I was pretty sick. I had cancer actually when I was in the jungle, and my doctor said I'd be dead in 2 weeks.
Shut up.
Yeah, she said I'd be dead in 2 weeks, and she said if you don't go on chemotherapy right now, we're gonna kill, or you're gonna kill yourself. Like,
never do that.
That's what I know, man. That's what I said. I said no way. So I had the jungle booked. I was going to the jungle anyways, and I said I'm going to the jungle. If I die, big deal. And I went to the jungle. I fasted.
By yourself?
There's a group of people there. It's like a fasting facility. You're in huts and you're in the middle of nowhere. And 40 days later, I mean, I came back. That cancer's gone now. So,
dude, isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, it's the fucking craziest thing ever, because when someone tells you you're going to die in 2 weeks and you're like, well, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to go do this. That's all in, man, at the poker table.
Well, let me tell you what I think happened.
Mm.
Your cancer was starved from its fucking cause.
And we ate it. My body ate it as well.
Yeah.
Double whammy.
Yeah, I don't believe in chemotherapy.
Me
I hope
either.
I never, ever have to test my shit, but I'm glad that you're telling me this, because that's what I've always believed.
Mm-hmm.
Chemotherapy is, I believe, a sinister fucking thing.
Oh, it's the devil, bro. It's
Like
mustard gas.
They'll tell you, hey, listen, you got to do chemo or you're going to fucking die. Well, guess what? The chemo is why you die half the time. I'm serious, dude. It kills all your cells.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the good ones come back.
Mm-hmm.
97% failure rate of chemo.
It's even like 98, man. And I did the math on it. Listen to this. I'm from Canada, so they pay for your chemo in Canada. $125,000 a year for 5 years, then I'd be dead. So the government's going to spend $600,000 to kill me. I went to Mexico. I got a bunch of banned drugs. They're good when they're banned. So I got a bunch of banned drugs and I smuggled them back to Canada. And I did that in fasting, and I don't have that cancer anymore.
What drugs?
It's called B17. It's a natural
Oh,
compound.
sure, Laetrile.
Yeah, Laetrile. So I got
Apricot
that.
seeds, son.
Apricot seeds, dude.
You're going to go to fucking jail, bro. You better
Oh,
you better quit making claims.
No, bro. Well, I'm not making any claims. I'm not a medical guy. I'm not making any advice. I'm just saying what I did, dude.
That's a disclaimer, kids. Hit rewind. But in reality, dude, I know a dude. I don't know a dude. I know of a dude.
Mm-hmm.
That same thing happened. He had a big old fucking tumor. Doctor said he's going to die. He fucking did a little research. Ate apricot seeds, which has natural B17, which, by the way, is technically not allowed. I wonder why.
Yeah.
And he fucking got rid of his cancer. So what did he do? Same thing I would have done. Fucking tell everybody. Like, dude, here's the cure. Here's the cure. They put his ass in jail.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't say the word cure, dude. Like, you're going to have to edit that out. Like, brr!
I know, but like, look, could he say, here's what happened to me? Is that legal?
Well, I'm publishing it in a book actually coming out pretty soon. Just like I'm doing a little test run, and I'm actually afraid. Like I put a big legal disclaimer at the front. I'm not selling cures. I'm not selling anything. I'm just talking about what I did, and I'm afraid a little bit of getting crucified like Jesus did, because if you're dropping the truth or you're telling people the truth or enlightening people, there's people that don't like that out there.
Sure, but see, a lot of people think it's bullshit because of the conspiracy theory, stigma. In other words, oh, dude, there's no big group of people trying to kill us off. Yes, there is.
Yeah.
But there is.
Yeah.
The people that sell all that medicine, they want you to fucking have that medicine. They want you to buy their medicine. So if you look at human beings like cattle, like pretend we're cattle.
We are cattle.
I believe so.
Yes.
But we're cattle. We're even better than cattle because we work and we give money and we are worth money. Like the day you're born.
We produce more than we consume. The cattle don't. We produce more, so we're better than cattle. Yeah, like you said.
Oh yeah. But when the big companies get involved, it's like shit, dude. We need people with sniffles and coughs so we can sell our sniffle and cough medicine. And then somebody, I don't know if it's a person or an entity or secret meetings, but then somebody says, well, shit, this might fucking make them sick in another way. Well, fuck, let's make a medicine for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like, dude, they don't want us dead. They want us sick. It's not health care. It's sick care.
Mm-hmm.
And there's trillions being made. And I think chemo, if someone does the research, I did a little bit and tell me if I'm wrong, it's the only, I wouldn't even call it medicine. It's the only shit that doctors can get commission on.
Yeah, there's that. And then think about this, Brad. If you want to be a doctor, you go to school, you got to get 99% on all your tests, but then they sell something with a 2% success rate. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
See, it doesn't make any sense to me either. And that's, folks, the lesson you should be paying attention to. Like, how come common sense doesn't play into things?
Common sense is uncommon.
So you went down to a jungle with some smuggled banned medicine, which was not even fucking medicine. It fucking grows in apricot seeds, man. It's Laetrile.
Yeah.
B17.
B17, yeah.
And that's all you did. And you fasted. And by the way, when you fasted, your body probably raised its alkaline state, your pH raised, because the foods we eat lowers our alkalinity.
That's right.
And alkalinity, it's been proven scientifically, cancer or disease cannot live in an alkaline state.
Mm-hmm.
So if your pH balance is the right levels, which the body, by the way, is designed to produce normally if you're eating good, healthy, clean food. But when you got Monsanto or whatever that big ass company is,
Monsanto, yeah.
Monsanto, they're spraying the fucking lettuce with the bullshit, and they're, you get a hamburger in a grocery store, and you think, oh, it's hamburger. How the fuck do you know what's in it? They could literally be poisoning the beef, and now you're eating in the fucking beef.
FDA approved, baby.
Yeah, and then the vegans say, oh, don't eat meat. You'll take on the stress of the animal. Well, first of all, how the fuck do you know? Second of all, I think we are designed to eat plants and nuts.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I went through this. I got this in my book, Hard Times, that you got, actually. Hard Times Create Strong Men. I mapped out all the foods that digest quickly to the slowest foods. The slowest thing you can eat is deep fried. And then there's like meat and cheese and these slow things that take like a day or 2 days to digest. The fast things that we digest fast are the things we're meant to eat. And the things that take forever, our system just isn't designed for it. So we're designed to be a herbivore. Our teeth are herbivore teeth. We don't have carnivore teeth. And then our colon is too long to digest meat. Like a tiger who eats meat has a short colon. And to eat meat,
because it shouldn't be in there long.
Exactly. And the other thing is the tiger, if you eat meat with blood and bones, it's alkaline. But when you cook it, it goes acidic. So we're supposed to have alkaline things in our body. So if you and me just started eating some like beef with blood and bones, we'd be okay because the blood and bones are there for alkaline. But then when you cook it and you feed it to the tiger dies. So you feed flour to a rat, the rat dies. You feed a cooked steak to a tiger, it'll kill the tiger because he can't digest it.
No shit.
Yeah, man.
Didn't even know that.
That's right.
But let's go back to hanging out in the jungle. So there's a holistic treatment facility out there?
Yeah, there's a guy. He runs a fasting center out there, and I've gone the last 3 years. So I did a 30-day water fast. I had ulcerative colitis for 15 years, then it turned into colon cancer. So I went out there to try to help myself. The year after, I did an 18-day water fast. After I came out of the jungle, I wrote that book, Hard Times Create Strong Men, because I had these young boys in my office complaining to me, being millennials. I don't like you. I don't love this. You're mean. So I said I'd sit them down and have a how to be a man talk. And then this last year, I did the 40-day water fast. I was signed up for it anyways, but when my doctor said I'd be dead, I mean, I really went and did it to the fullest capacity.
Now, if someone researched and went and talked to your doctor, they would verify that, oh yeah, that motherfucker was going to die.
I don't know, man. I mean, they say a lot of shit. When the cancer doctor gets you in the room, it's like a timeshare presentation. They shut the door, they put on a tape recorder, and they start hard closing you. Like, hey, we're gonna put a pump in your breast right now. We're gonna start pumping you right now, and it's like super high pressure closing.
Dude, I tell them the same thing you did. Fuck you. You ain't putting chemo or nothing in my body. Like if I'm dying, I'm supposed to die.
Well, that's what I said. Like, I want to die on my terms. If I'm going to die, like, she's like, we can get you 5 years on chemo. I'm thinking, what the fuck? I'm not going to walk around with a baby bottle of, like, drugs on me and be dead now, but, like, wait 5 more years to leave my body. I said, dude, I'd rather get 2 years, good years, than to try to stretch it out to 5 on chemo. So I think, Brad, I don't know if the doctor would have said that, but they were talking some shit. So I think she just slipped it out as, like, a fear tactic. I don't know if she had any proof I'd be dead, but she was pretty much like throwing that out there, like, fuck you, you're gonna die. And I said to her, I'm going to the jungle. She's like, you're never gonna make it, and like it was intention, counter intention, hardcore. And I was pretty like strong in that moment, but when I left, I started to have a breakdown, because when people say like you're gonna die and they're a doctor, like, even if you don't believe them, part of you believes that.
Oh yeah.
So it was a tough decision.
And dude, people with cancer die. Well, yeah. My question is, 9 times out of 10, they die in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck does that tell you?
Yeah, the hospital kills you, dude.
Yeah, like, don't go there. Like, try to figure out something else. It's crazy because I have this buddy of mine who I'm thinking about getting involved, but there's a doctor in Hungary who created this water that you lay in, and it's not even water. Like, scientifically, like when you look at under a microscope, it's not water, it's liquid oxygen.
Wow.
And in 1923, some doctor named Warburg discovered that the 100% cause of cancer in any form is a lack of oxygen to the cellular level.
Wow.
And so his daughter gets pancreatic cancer, stage 4, 10 centimeter tumor or whatever.
That's like the end, dude. 10 centimeters is like, it can't go past that.
No, they gave her 4 months.
Yeah.
And this is at UCLA.
Wow.
And so she said, I'm going to Hungary to see my dad. He's an oncologist.
Wow.
So your daughter's dying might be you ain't pumping her full of fucking chemo.
The doctors don't give chemo to their own wives or their own kids, but they'll give it to you.
Yeah. So she flies over there, lays in this bath for 6 months, and that was 12 years ago.
Wow.
And now here in Las Vegas, there's one spa where they offer these baths, and I've been hanging out there. I've taken 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't have anything wrong, so I couldn't say, oh, I had a back problem and now it's good. But I'm listening and talking to people that are coming in there.
Right.
And dude, like, this lady came in with Lyme disease, barely alive, in a wheelchair, no energy.
Whoa.
Boom. Now she's bouncing off the walls. She's like, dude, all I did with these baths. So, like, I'll bet you there's cures. But is there a big group out there in the world trying to keep us from finding it? Because, dude, imagine if everyone lived population would have a problem. Population control, it could be. But who's this freaking powerful organization, and how do I get in?
There's a good book you can read.
I want to get into where you're all my cattle. I don't want to be the cattle. I want to be the rancher. I want to be the rancher, and guess what? I'm not greedy. So guess what? I'll cure people because there's money in cures too.
A little bit.
Tons. Plenty. Like, again, that's why I want to get involved with this water, dude. I got a couple people going in these baths that have issues. If in a couple months these fucking issues are gone, dude, I would rather have $1 million from people being cured than $1 trillion from people dying.
Amen.
I'll bomb that, dude.
Yeah, bomb that, man. That's
because I'm not greedy. So again, I want to be the rancher because, dude, I would tell people, hey, B17, dude, you got cancer, no problem. Bust open an apricot and eat the seed. What did you eat? Pure seeds?
I was eating some seeds, but they taste really bad.
That's what I was about to say, because from what I hear, it's like it tastes like frickin' apple seeds. It's like you don't like the taste.
Well, apple seeds have B17 in them too, so I do eat the apple seeds. It's the same taste. It tastes like eating an apple seed. I inject it because you can get a nice dose. You don't have to taste it. You got to give yourself a needle, which is pretty hardcore. That's like some war shit. You know, if
Why,
you're giving
is it big?
It's a big ass like Mexican needle you got to give yourself, but. You know,
what's the difference between a Mexican needle and a American needle?
It's got Spanish all over it, and you know it comes in it's not like you can't go to the drugstore and get this needle. Like it's a big crazy needle, and I take that, but I would rather take that than chemo or whatever else. And you know it's preventative now too. Like if you take that, it nourishes you and it keeps the cancer away. So hey, why not?
Yeah. So the reason I was asking, if I went to this doctor and did research, would they verify? Because I always hear about these cures, and then it makes me wonder, like, how come the doctor's not saying anything?
Well, my doctor doesn't give a shit, dude. Like, this is how crazy it is.
This girl either. Like I said, didn't your doctor, I mean, you have, like, x-rays of fucking tumors and shit?
Yeah.
She's like, well, yeah. I'm like, and you have all this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so when you came back still alive, no cancer. Actually, here's what happened to her. 10 centimeter, about to die, flew to here, came back 6 months later. The tumor was now 2 centimeters. And so they decided that's small enough to cut it out. So they go in and cut it out, and it was benign. So,
really? Wow.
So it was even dead and shrunk.
Wow.
But I'm thinking, why wouldn't your doctor shit their pants? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If I were a doctor, and I really believe, because I don't believe doctors are bad people. I think the educators of the doctors, if there's a conspiracy at all, it's not doctors wanting to kill us, okay? It's doctors being taught in school, whatever they're taught in school. And when you're taught something that you believe, you just believe it. So at the end of the day, if I'm a doctor and they're telling me, hey, here's the problem and here's the remedy, and I'd prescribe it. Like, shit, that's what you do for this particular disease.
Here's the thing, though, Brad, and I'll say this. Like, B17 is banned. So if my doctor prescribes to me, she loses her license.
Why is it banned?
Because it works.
I know, but nobody knows why it's banned. There's no reason why it's banned.
Well, dude, I mean, it's really freaky. Like, number one, it's banned. So if the doctor prescribes it, it's banned. It's not allowed to be sold. And then the other thing is, like, I was in Winnipeg, where I live in Canada, and I'm Googling it, and there's all these press releases from nobody in particular for Global, CTV, all these news sources saying B17 apricot seeds will turn into cyanide and kill you if you eat them. And I'm eating 50 of these seeds, and I'm not dying. So it's crazy because you can go to the store and buy an apricot, eat the seed, just a regular fruit. There's no warning, this thing will kill you. But then when they start selling seeds alone, I know, dude, they're not like, hey, cyanide's in this seed. There is cyanide, but it only reacts with cancer cells, and it's water soluble, so it flushes out of your body. You can't OD on this stuff, as far as I know.
So if someone you loved had cancer right now, would you say, eat them fucking seeds and go fast?
That's what I did. I'll say this. Look, here's what I'm going to say, Brad. I did this. I made it. I was going to be dead. They said I was going to be dead. I did this. It can work for you too. Now, some people are going to say, oh my God, I'm so afraid. And the stuff they give you, like the timeshare presentation to sell the chemo is a pretty fucking scary presentation. Like, I'll say that. It's pretty fucking scary. You go out to the parking lot. Your world is melting down. You think you're going to die. These are doctors. Even though you know you might think it's bullshit, you still feel like it's real. And there's a real problem because your family and your friends and everybody calls you and starts saying, take the chemo, take the chemo. And they'll all flip-flop. So it's like one of those things where it's you and your family and these doctors, and you have to negotiate through that because it's not just a simple solution.
Here's how I'd negotiate. Nope.
Well, that's what I did. That's what
Yeah,
I
I'm not
did.
doing it. Look, if I'm supposed to die, I'm going to die. I'm not taking chemo.
Right.
Period. End of conversation. Why? Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't feel it. That's why.
Well, I just said it's against my religion, and then they leave me alone.
Well, dude, to me, it's like, look, if there's a disease, then there's a cure. Like Magic Johnson. Ooh, another thing. That doctor,
Yeah, he had AIDS.
the doctor that invented that water, it was Magic Johnson's doctor,
Whoa.
coincidentally.
Whoa.
So it's like, dude, like if that water fucking cures problems, because what it does is it puts oxygen at the cellular level.
Wow.
And then scientists will all agree cancer can't live in an alkaline state. you know?
Right.
So it's like all these doctors understand these things. I don't understand. And by the way, there are good ones. You go Google the B17, the Laetrile. There's one doctor out there, I forget his name, but he's from Germany. And he says all day long, dude, it's 100% curable. And he's cured 100 patients with vitamin C injections.
Vitamin C, they're trying to ban that right now.
Yeah, he's cured cancer by removing the blood and oxygenating the blood.
Yeah, and it turns pink and they re-inject it back
And you
in.
feel like you're freaking brand new and everything goes away and you're like a fucking champ.
Right.
So like you hear all these conflicting stories. What is real? And then you meet a guy like you and I'm like, in my head, if I went and talked to your doctor, would she agree? And if she did agree, why wouldn't she be fucking telling the whole world? And that's what I asked this girl that had pancreatic cancer.
Right.
And she said they didn't care. They said, when I went back and my centimeter was there and they cut it out, they said, whatever you're doing, it's working. So keep doing it.
Right.
See you later.
Yeah, and they didn't say why.
They didn't say why and they didn't ask. And like, wouldn't you ask? Like if you're the doctor and you see, oh dude, this guy's got a broken arm. And then the next day you walk in and your arm's no longer broken. Wouldn't you shit as a doctor? I would say, what did you do? What did you do? And I would want to know that so the rest of my patients could be cured. Now, well, they'll take away my medical license.
They will.
I don't give a shit about my medical license. If I'm a doctor, I should be there to heal people.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, there are guys who've cured cancer. There's Huxley, he got exiled. There's Gerson, the Gerson therapy, he got exiled. So when you find a cure that works, they burn your shit down, they shoot you, they exile you. And you can go to the Mexican border and there's all sorts of stuff that's banned just over the border down in Tijuana. That's where I went. And they gangster destroy you as soon as you got something that works. And that's really shitty. That's really shitty that you got to go to Mexico or somewhere else or Hungary. Hungary is really progressive, actually. They just put some pro-family laws and abortions and divorces went down. So they're doing good stuff in Hungary all around. But
Isn't that next to Turkey?
I think it's Hungary is I think it's pretty close to Germany and Czechoslovakia and it's Europe.
I'm sure it's near Turkey, which is why I always wonder how they're hungry. Why don't they just fucking eat
Dude, give
turkey?
that a bomb, man. Come on.
Why don't they just eat turkey? So, dude, first of all, looking at your picture, I'd get that changed.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like, made me damn near not even want to interview you.
Oh.
I'm just joking. But you look totally different.
Yeah, I got to do another photo shoot of like a Viking one because I'm rocking the Viking look.
Yeah, but now I was expecting this dude to come in here and be like a fucking stockbroker-y type dude. You're nothing like your picture.
Dude, that guy died in the jungle, man.
Well, was this recent? You just
that
went in the
picture,
jungle?
I was rocking that look till, the jungle was in February, man. So like,
So you were supposed to be dead by now.
Yeah, man. I should have been dead in like December or January. So.
Now, did your doctor know you're cancer-free?
Well, this is the fun part. They say, well, we can't find your cancer, but they don't believe. They're like, we can't find it. Scans look good. And then they're just like, they just let it go. And then they're like, we're just going to keep scanning you forever and we're going to keep you in our system, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
money.
Oh, it's fucking bullshit, dude. And then here's what's even crazier. So they cut my colon out and I had an inflamed colon. So I have no colon. And they said, well, you still have ulcerative colitis. I'm like, well, I don't even have the organ that is inflamed. How can I still have this? And they said, well, you have it forever. I'm like, I don't get you guys. I don't know how something, it's like appendicitis. You get your appendix cut out. Well, you still have appendicitis. Well, you don't have an appendix. So that makes no sense. So I don't get what they say. I'll do some scans every now and then, make sure I'm good, eat healthy. I'm going to go try that water you're talking about.
Dude,
But,
I'll tell you as soon as we're offline.
yeah, man. But I don't get what their system is. Their system is, I don't think it's really there to really help. Dude, they serve Halloween candy at the fucking cancer place to the cancer patients. You can't serve, that should be illegal. You should throw people in jail for that. Cancer is caused by sugar. So
That's another thing, dude. Back, I forget what year it was, but during wartime, these Germans move into this town, and they take all the livestock and eggs and dairy for themselves, and they leave the townsfolk with just vegetables.
right.
Well, if you look at historically what happened, the fucking cancer and disease dropped down to nothing.
Right.
And then as soon as the military left and gave them back their fucking meat and shit, the disease came back.
Yep.
So then why aren't the soldiers dead?
Dude, it's wild, man. That's in the book A World Without Cancer by G. Edward Griffin, and he wrote The Creature from Jekyll Island, which is about the money reserve, the Federal Reserve. So he's got a really kick-ass book there, Creature from Jekyll Island, and then World Without Cancer is the whole story of B17 and why it's banned. And it's crazy because like Sloan Kettering and some of these big cancer hospitals did experiments with it, and it worked, and then they just threw it away. So like they even know it works, but they just took it away because, dude, B17 for a year is like $400. So it's like literally no money, man, compared to 125 grand. 125 grand a year versus $400. Like not even close.
What about scurvy? Sailors used to die of scurvy.
That was a vitamin C deficiency, and they say cancer is a B17 deficiency. So they say it's the modern scurvy in the book.
They gave them fucking oranges, and they were cured.
That's right.
If they didn't get an orange, they'd be dead.
That's right. Limes and oranges, and the Germans had sauerkraut. So like all these vitamin C.
So now they're trying to ban vitamin C?
Yeah, dude, I was reading that they want to get rid of the vitamin C injections because those are working. So they're trying to ban those. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but like this is how crazy it is, man. Like I got the socialized medicine in Canada, and I said, look, I don't want your chemo. I said, can you give me some vitamin C injections? They're like, no, you're not vitamin C deficient on your blood, so we can't give that to you. It's total communism. So they'll take half your money in taxes in Canada. And this is like a great argument against socialized medicine. They take all your money up front, and then they don't give you any shit that works. So like they give you the one thing, and if you don't want the one thing, fuck you. We got half your money, and now you got to scramble and figure out what are you going to do to save your own life, which is pretty scary, man. That's like some communist stuff, And pretty soon you won't be able to leave the country. Who knows?
So if someone is listening to this and their loved one has cancer, and they're diagnosed with, dude, you got cancer, what would you recommend that they do? I know you can't say this cures it, and don't do it because, dude, I don't want dropping bombs. I don't want black helicopters coming out of the sky.
Yeah, me either, man. Well, I'd say do a lot of research. Read the book I said, The World Without Cancer by G. Edward Griffin. Do research. There's a lot of great information out there. I think a fast is always great. You can't lose with a fast.
Dude, and you always feel good other than a little hungry.
Yeah, you're hungry for like maybe 10 days. But after that, if you do 21 days or a 30-day fast, if you go to a fasting place and you...
What do they give you, like salt water or
nothing,
something?
Dude. With water, you got water. So you got 4 liters of water a day, 4 or 5 liters, and then no food. And then the refeed period, when you break your fast, they do it with watermelon or papaya, or they do it with something easy to digest. And you do that refeed process for about a third of your fast. So on 40 days, I think it was like a 16-day refeed, and I left early because I was stupid. But that's a whole nother story.
What were you stupid for?
I went to go see a cancer doctor in Florida because I was getting as many answers as I could. And so I left. I lost all my electrolytes. I went insane for like a day. Woke up in the ICU because I ran. I lost all my electrolytes. I lost all my salt in my blood, And next thing you know, I'm in the ICU. So that was kind of stupid. I should have like actually finished the fast properly. And that's the thing. Like people fast and they eat a steak or they eat something stupid after, and then it fucks them up. So you're better off the refeed is more technical than the fast. The fast, you can just sit there, but we do have medical supervision. They're checking your blood. They're checking you, making sure that you're not, losing all your electrolytes, because that's something that can happen and you can die from that. So I almost died on that trip too, the losing all my electrolytes, but thank God, the doctors took me, put some salt water in me. I was fine.
So how much were you heavy when you went down there or no?
Before the fast, I was 220. And then I went raw vegan 2 weeks before. I went down to like 199 or 200 or something. So I lost 20 pounds right away, went raw vegan. And then I went down to like 145 when I was in the jungle. So I fasted, went down to 145. And then I was perfect 15% body fat at the end. So like I could have kept going, dude. I wasn't like the year I did the 30-day water fast, I was very sick in my colon. I went home, I got down to 4% body fat, which was that's scary, dude. When you get down to 4%, like that's almost like concentration camp victim style. But 15% is perfect.
Yeah, well, according to who?
According to what a male should be. A male's supposed to be 15% body fat. A woman's like 24. Unless you want to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, then she's got to be 15 like a boy.
Yeah, I was going to say women should be 15. Guys should be around 8.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's even better. That's
looking all fucking swole. What about like you ever heard of the Master Cleanse?
Yeah, that's the cayenne and the lemon.
Yeah, I did that for 31 days.
How's that?
Well, you lose a bunch of weight and you feel great. You know, you get really, really focused. But you realize how much time you waste fucking eating.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, when I did the Master Cleanse, it was like, dude, in commercials, you realize how many commercials are about food and how much time you waste thinking about what you're going to eat, going to get something to eat, or actual eating. I had all the fucking time in the world when I was doing the Master Cleanse. Yeah. Because you don't think about shit. And it gets, but that's why I'm wondering, like, you can just survive off water for 40 days?
Yeah, your body has everything it needs in its fat. So it renders the fat down. And the fat has all the vitamins, everything you need. Like, you don't really go deficient on anything because your body is actually in ketosis now. After about, I think, 3-4 days, it switches into ketosis. So you're eating for like 3 days, you're eating the stuff in your colon and your liver and your kind of like glucose. And then after about 3-4 days, it switches into muscle for about 2 days. And then it switches into fat. And when it switches into fat, you got this taste in your mouth. It's like an alcohol feces taste because you got literally the fumes coming up from your intestines. And then you've got fat being rendered down into like fuel. So you're tasting this like alcohol feces smell. And oh my God, like it's not super great.
So
like,
is that where the term shit-faced drunk comes from?
Maybe. Or, like you're a shit bag. You're a bag of shit because you're breathing your own fumes at that point. Yeah. So, and then you got to face all your demons, you got all these. You got to face yourself as a spirit, face yourself as your mind and your emotions. And a lot of people go crazy, man. They can't finish. I was the only guy who finished the 40-day in my group of people. A bunch of people got to like 30-something, 35, 32, 38, and they quit because you got to face yourself, face your hunger, face your demons. And people don't like facing themselves. That's what they're always talking.
That's a good one right there, cuz. That's a good one right there. If you guys are listening to this, man, go deep on that one. Because, dude, I'm telling you, when people come to me and they're like, how do I succeed? I always tell them, dude, look, I'm no expert because I'm not a billionaire, trillionaire. Like, what is success, first of all? You got to ask yourself that. Too many people, like, want to attach money to success. Dude, I know a lot of people that they're fucking happy and they don't have millions of dollars. So some people would say, oh, they're not successful. Well, according to who? And that's facing yourself. Most people don't want to freaking look inside and decide what success is because society told them it's money. Society told them it's Lambos and trips and freaking college, Harvard and all this fancy high level shit. When in reality, dude, maybe it's health and love and happiness.
Or all of the above. You can have it all.
Well, I think both is because I like to have money for one reason. When people need it and they don't know how to make it, I can help them.
Right.
People always say, why do you want to be a billionaire? So I can give people money. I want to be able to give people money. Like, dude, how many times have you needed some fucking money and all you got was fucking advice?
Come in for money, come out with advice. Come in for advice, come out with money.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying advice is bad, but like, dude, if I'm getting booted out of my apartment and I need $1,600 to pay the fucking rent, and you want to tell me, well, let me give you some advice. Well, fuck your advice, bro. Who's got $1,600 I can get real quick? Now, that's what I want to do is be able to give people money and advice, of course. Like, if you want my money, you got to listen to my advice, but I'm going to give you money too. Because a lot of times, dude, it's money that's the problem. Like how much does it cost to go down to that jungle?
Oh man, it was like nothing. It was like $6,000 for like 2 months.
Yeah, but $6,000, dude. There's people out there, they don't have $6,000.
That's true.
And they got cancer, or their kid, worse, has cancer. Little kid gets leukemia, something's wrong. You got no money. Fuck, you're fucked, dude. $6,000 is all the money in the world.
That's true.
See, I could walk up and be like, boom, hey, six G's. go to Costa Rica, hang out with the monkeys, come back healthy. I just want to test this shit, dude. Like, I want to find someone with cancer and send them down there and say, here, I'll pay the $6,000. Because if you come back, I want to verify you have cancer. I want to talk to all your doctors. I'll pay the $6,000. You go down there, come back, and see it. Now, what happens? They go down there and they don't finish. And it's like, fuck, I just wasted $6,000.
Well, dude, that's the thing. Now we're coming back to the other part of it is, you got to pay flesh for knowledge. And when they don't put any flesh in the game, they don't get any knowledge. And I have a real estate coaching company. We sell coaching. Our coaching is $19,000 to $73,000. People who don't pay or people who go on payment plans don't finish.
Yeah.
And we just know that. Like, they just don't respect it. They don't do it. Even if they do pay it, they may not respect themselves or their money, and they still don't do it. So if they don't pay, Brad, this is the sad part about charity is, it's like our welfare system. We give stuff to people, and then they don't respect it because they didn't do anything for it. In the old days, you'd have to go to the church, and the church would say, okay, we got some charity money for you. You're hungry. Like, here's some sandwiches. And then they'd say, here's a system to follow. They give you the book, and they'd say, here's a system to follow. As long as you're on the system, you get sandwiches. And they'd have to turn themselves around, and that was a good system compared to nowadays where we just give people stuff and they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, is that what your book about? Hard times make strong men?
Yeah, hard times create strong men. It's about the cycles of history and what it is to be a man. So, what is a man in money? What is a man in sex? What is a man in religion?
What
is a man in politics?
In sex?
We're going to talk about sex first. You want to talk about what is a man first? I'm going to bring it back to the...
What is a man in sex?
Let me bring it back to
I want to know if I'm a man or not.
Dude, let me bring it back to the purpose first, though. So the first chapter in the book is a man's purpose is his work. And, I get guys who email me or message me because they read Hard Times and they go, oh, I got problems with my woman, blah, 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 blah. I can't get a girlfriend. I can't get sex or some sort of nonsense.
Well, that's probably soft times.
That is. Dude, you going to give a bomb for that? For soft times.
Yeah, it's hard times, son.
So a lot of guys who have problems with women, it's usually they're off purpose. So their purpose, their work, their mission, they're totally off. Maybe they're watching too much porno or video games. They're way off in the weeds. They're not on their purpose. Because when men are living their purpose, like when you show up to work here, Brad, and you got this Empire here, Lightspeed VT, when you're doing that, dude, you're probably sexy to women. Women probably like that because, they're like, oh, hey, let's go to LA or whatever. And you're like, no, I'm working. I got this thing to do. And that's the masculine and feminine struggling right there. You want to do your work. She wants to go to LA or whatever. She's saying, hey, let's have family time. You're saying, hey, let's have work time. And when a man puts his purpose first, his work first, that usually makes him attractive to women because women want a man on purpose. They don't want a man off purpose. That's why porno isn't good for men, video games. Those are all distractions from a man's purpose.
Dude, it's crazy. Dude, I don't even watch porn unless I'm jacking off.
There you go. Good. Well, that makes sense.
Like, dude, who watches porn to have sex? I know a bunch of people that do, but I mean, like, why? Like, dude, if you got one right in front of you, what the fuck are you watching the TV for?
Yeah, it's a little weird, man. I mean,
dude, I should have did a disclaimer about this episode.
Rated R, man.
Well, dude, we're F-bombing like it's coming out of style. But, dude, if I were you, I'd be F-bombing all fucking day.
Why is that?
Because you fucking should have been dead, bro.
Well, that's why I have a beard, right? I'm like, I was growing this beard, and I grew it in the jungle. I've been growing it since November.
Well, dude, you can't go to the jungle, come out clean shaven. You look like a puss.
Well, that's just it, man. So I was like more Amish. It was going out the sides. I kind of trimmed it up a bit. And now people are like, why do you have a beard? I'm like, fuck you. I don't care, man. I had ego death.
Beards are cool now.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. They're interesting. I think men like other men's beards more than women do, but I said to myself, I'm going to grow this beard until I find the woman who makes me want to shave it. So I might look like a wizard next time you see me.
Well, what makes you think it's going to be that long?
Oh, I don't know, man. We'll see.
You ain't on your purpose?
Well, I'm on my purpose. I'm pulling in a whole bunch of stuff I shouldn't be pulling in right now, but that's a whole nother conversation, man.
But you got 5 books already. I'm getting ready to, I got a book right now, but it was technically ghostwritten.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, I feel like that's not a fucking book you wrote. Now, there's a lot of people out there thinking, hey, fuck you, mine's ghostwritten. Well, then you didn't write a fucking book. So when this ghostwritten book, because I did it in a partnership,
right?
When this ghostwritten book comes out, I'm not going to run around like fucking proud of it because guess what? I didn't write the motherfucker. I influenced it. I gave some material to use, but I didn't write it, dude. The first book I'm writing right now is called The Hard Way. It's basically,
Yeah.
should I learn the hard way so you don't have to? And it's fucking real shit. Like when this
Yeah.
book comes out, everybody should buy it
Yeah.
because it's not opinions. It's fucking straight up facts that will save you time, money, and aggravation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. And how do I know? Because I'm 50 fucking years old. That's how I know. And I've lived probably 10 lifetimes compared to most people.
Right.
You know, got kicked out at 16, fucking lived on the streets, hustled, you know, hung around the freaking dirt balls and the drug dealers and
Yeah.
the fucking CEOs and the executives. I mean, I've been all areas. I'm friends with everybody.
Yeah.
I've got billionaire buddies that went to Harvard, and I've got fucking people that'll fucking kill you if I throw them a little extra cash. I'm serious, dude. Like I know people from all walks of life, and I've learned a lot of shit. And in this book, I'm writing down stories that have happened to me and the lessons that I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. But that's a book I'm writing. This other book, I kind of ghost wrote it. What do you think? Do you write all those 5, or did you ghost write any?
So I'm gifted in writing. I'm a writer. Like I went to school. I'm English major, music minor. So I write, dude. I've written 5 books. I got 3 more coming. I got Hard Times 2, Hard Times 3, Hard Times 4. Last week I wrote Hard Times 4 in a week. Like I sat down and just fucking wrote.
Dude,
So
and just so you know, The Hard Way, that was my title for fucking years, bro.
Hard Way, Hard Times.
Well, it's again, good fucking title if you ask me.
Yeah, bro. Well,
Dude, I wasn't going to read your book other than peruse it, but now meeting you, dude, I'm going to read that book. If you guys are listening, you want to pick up the book and you want to which book would you say is the best one for them to read?
Well, for what we talked about today, we didn't talk about real estate or money or anything. We just talked straight up about hard times.
We ain't done.
Hardtimestrongmen.com. They can get the book. It's hardtimestrongmen.com. And dude, you know what? It's a big book. It's fat. It's 151,000 words. It's 624 pages. But you know what? People read it in a day, bro. I've had people read that book 4 times. They message me, damn, I've read it 4 times. I had one lady buy 18 copies for every man in her life. I'm getting people repeat buying it. I've had people buy it on Audible and they listen to it. It's 18 hours long and then they buy the physical book. So it's making impact. And I get guys messaging me being like, dude, I fucked around my girlfriend for 18 years or 8 years and now I just married her. Like all sorts of stuff happen to people when they read this book.
Did they come clean first?
Yeah, I think so. You know, they're like, you know, I've been dating her and whatever, and now I'm going serious and I'm going to actually be a man. So it makes men man up, because it was the how to be a man talk that a dad would give to his son in the garage that's rated R that he wouldn't give to his daughter and wouldn't give to his wife. And the man-to-man talk is different than the man-to-woman talk and the woman-to-woman talk, right? Those are all different talks. So
Well, what's your opinion on, like, again, if someone came to me and said they cheated on their girl but now they're going to marry her, I'd say don't marry her until you 100% tell her everything you did.
Well, I was gonna say, you got problems, man. I mean, you got to reconcile those problems, and you're right. You
come
got to,
clean.
yeah, you got to talk to her about that.
And then if she still chooses to marry you, good for you. You found a fucking solid one, and move ahead. But don't marry a girl, because as soon as you do and now you're locked in, those little nuggets come out. It might be 10 years fucking later, bro, but they come out. And you should have just been honest, because if she didn't want to marry you because you did that, well then fuck, that ain't the one for you.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty big test, man. And you know, I think that's part of the human nature is we screw things up, we fuck it up, and we always need redemption. And that's what Hard Times 4, the new one I'm writing, is about. It's about a man's journey is we find our power first, or we're seeking power. Once we have power, we find our darkness. In our darkness, we find our demons. And once we slay our demons, we find our ethics. And when man finds his ethics, he gets his woman and reaches immortality with children. So that's the hero's journey, man. I mean, that guy, if he's cheating, he's in his darkness and his demons, and his power is bigger than his ethics. So he's got to clean his shit up before he's even going to move on.
Dude, that's crazy, because like I've never really been able to figure out like how to say it. But dude, what you just said is technically what happened.
That's the 4-part journey. And like Star Wars is that story. The knight slaying the dragon is that story. Brad Lee's got that story. Stefan Aarnio's got that story. You've obviously made it out of the 4 parts, and that's what Hard Times series is. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, now I'm all about ethics. Like again, dude, I always tell people, I don't fuck people, but I like to be in the position to.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, like
you gotta have power. Yeah,
that's just the upper hand. Like I love having the upper hand. Always will. I don't know. I'm not ashamed to say it. I like being in the control position. But That just may be fucking ego or insecurity. Who knows? I just like it, but I don't use it.
What's better than the other position where someone can just break your neck in 2 seconds? You'd rather be the guy who can do that.
Yeah, I'm starting even to think to start going to roll and do jujitsu and shit, because nowadays, dude, if shit hit the fan and you're out with your family and a bigger dude wants to fucking have their way, you're just kind of fucked.
Right.
Which is why you have guns. But at the end of the day, man, prepare. There's a saying. I don't know the whole thing, but the last part is parabellum. You know what parabellum means?
What's parabellum?
Parabellum is Latin for prepare for war.
Oh, bellum, yeah, war, of course.
And so the first part's like CV something Latin, but basically it means
prepare for war.
If you want peace, prepare for war.
That's like that saying, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
You ain't lying, dog. And dude, that's all about preparation. So Bomb Squad, you're listening to this, you're probably fascinated just because it's fucking interesting. But at the end of the day, take the lessons from it. And the lessons are fucking, we wouldn't even be able to talk because it'd just be a solid bomb sound. So, and there's way too much to talk about. So one of these days I'm going to have you back, but let's talk about money a little bit. Well, no, let's go back first because
we were talking about sex, man. And
let's run through the hard times, 3, or the one you're talking about were the 4 parts.
Yeah. So Hard Times 1, the book you got there, Brad. That's the first part. It's about man finding his power and what does it mean to be a man in money, sex, religion, politics. The second book coming out is Hard Times 2. That one's called Dead Man Walking, and that's about darkness, and that's about my story going to the jungle and facing complete utter darkness and darkness, addictions, that kind of thing. Hard Times 3 is called Letters to a Scorpion, and that one's about demons. And dude, I was a womanizer. I had 8 girlfriends. It was a total mess. That book's about clearing those demons. And then the 4th one is called The Oracle, and it's the Oracle, the Queen, the Princess, and the Whore, 4 types of women, and that's about ethics. So I got like this epic series now coming out. I've got Hard Times 1 is out. The 2, 3, and 4 will probably be out before Christmas, and it is those 4 things. It's about man finding his power, facing his darkness, slaying his demons, and finding his ethics. And that's what I think we all struggle with as men. We struggle with those 4 things.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, if you can find your ethics, you're a way better position.
Absolutely. But on the flip side, and this is what they tell men nowadays, they say be a good man, be a good boy, and they ignore power. So nobody wants a man who's good but with no power. That's called a cuck. That's a guy that everybody's like, nice guys finish last. No, you don't just want to have ethics. You want to have power and ethics. And power and ethics together is what makes a man a really good, that's a king, dude. Like, you're a king. I can tell you're a king. And there's 4 types of men. There's slaves, warriors, knights, and kings. Well, men are born slaves. We have no power. And then we grapple with our purpose. We find it. We become warriors. We become good with our purpose. Become a knight. I'm a knight. And then when you get married and you got your ethics, you can be a king and rule. So you're a king. I'm a knight. And there's a difference there. But the thing that makes a man go to the next level, there is a woman, and it's the queen. But the problem is, dude, there's 4 types of women. There's oracles, queens, princesses, and whores. And men get distracted with whores. So, I've been a knight. I've had lots of women. It's a tough thing. It's a struggle. It's darkness there. And when man gets his right woman, his queen, that's where he can reach the kingdom and really reach immortality. And that's what we all want.
How do you know if you've got a whore or an oracle?
It's tough, man. Well, the 4 women. So a woman is born a princess. You have a little daughter. That's your daughter out there.
Yep.
She's a princess. She's
Sure
born
is.
a princess. You call her a princess. And women are born princesses, and if they remain pure and good, they typically will marry a knight and become a queen. Now, if they're bad...
Well, you can't become a queen unless you marry a king.
Right. Well, he's probably a knight today, and he'll become a king once you marry him. So that's usually the story, right? It's a knight, slays a dragon, gets the princess.
But where's the damsel?
Well, she's the damsel. The
'Cause
princess...
if you marry a knight, you're kind of just a damsel.
There you go. So it's the princess and the knight become the king and the queen, right? Now... If she's a bad girl,
you're like, dude, you're fucking up my story.
Well, dude, it works. It works. It's one word for another. If she becomes a bad woman and gives herself away, she becomes a whore. So a woman, she's born with power. She either goes up or down depending on her choices. And then as she becomes old, she becomes an oracle, which is it's a fortune teller. It's the old woman who has the advice, and the king wants an oracle because he wants that old woman with the wisdom to give him the right decisions or help him make the right decisions. Yeah. And so all women are oracles. You know,
who has more power, an oracle or a whore?
The whore has none, right? And
I don't know about that,
dude. It's bad power, man. They're using.
Well, I didn't say good or bad.
Oh, there you go.
But dude, like whores, holy moly, dude. If I were a female, well, let's say if I were a whore, dude, I'd own Las Vegas.
That's what is Las Vegas, man. I mean,
dude, there's a lot of power being a whore.
Yeah.
And if a girl understands that, she could have a lot of power. Problem is you're right. It's bad. It's not. It's
dark,
It's
man.
not happiness and success power. It's fucking power nonetheless.
Well, and the other thing too is, man, like men don't want to marry whores. We'll have fun with them. We'll do all sorts of stuff. But when it comes down to like a real empire, whores aren't building empires usually, man. Like it doesn't
They're
work that
ruining
way.
them.
There you go, dude. That's a bomb right there. Because that's what, you know, I've got a chapter in that book, What's a Good Woman versus Not. And a good woman is good with resources. She's helping her man. She's building the empire. A whore actually is smashing a man, ruining him and ruining his resources. Very basic, you know. She's either enhancing what's happening or
I gotta
totally
have my
smashing.
wife read your book.
That's coming out soon, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, like my wife sometimes, I keep telling her the same shit. Like she goes on shopping sprees and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't need anything.
Fuck.
And she's like, I know, but these shoes and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like,
And this purse.
But what you just said made me think, damn, I better not even say, do I got a whore?
No, but you probably, dude. I mean, you.
No, I don't have a whore. She's good. But my point is I don't think she's an oracle because she doesn't know what she's doing. She's having fun. She likes things. But like, in my opinion, she would be way more, I don't want to say useful, but you know what I mean? In other words, if she said, babe, even though we're doing well, we could be doing better. And the way to do better is to save this money, quit flashing things, quit buying stupid shit.
Yeah.
And because now that I'm getting older, dude, like the Ferrari's gone and like, I don't care about look at me anymore. I used to all worry about that.
Right.
But now I'm starting to think, who gives a fuck? My Raptor?
Right.
My Ford Raptor is fucking sweet. I love that truck.
Right.
I don't need a Ferrari. I don't need a Rolls Royce.
Right.
I ain't mad if you got one. And by the way, you might see me with one because I still love cars.
Right.
But my point is if she was like, babe, we shouldn't be buying all this stupid shit. We should be saving it and investing it for the future and to help other people. I think that would be like more impressive to me than fucking blowing our money.
Well, dude, and see, that's the thing. Like every man wants a woman who's in love with his potential and not just him. And if she's in love with you as you are, that's not enough for a man. A man wants a woman who demands his potential because that's what life's about. It's about you hitting your potential, Bradley, and it's about her demanding your potential. And that's what the Oracle really does. She says, fuck you, Brad. You're worth whatever. You better be a billionaire. I see billionaire in you. Fuck you. Why are you like that? No sex for you tonight. Go work. And you're going to work like a motherfucker. You'll write that book in 2 days. Because you're going to want it.
I'm not a big horn dog, dude. I'm serious. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, dude, you're 50, man.
Well, it's not that. I've never been a horn dog. Never been a horn dog, man.
What kind of dog are you then?
I don't know. I'm not a dog. I'm a fucking lion. I'm a fucking rhino.
Ooh, a rhino.
Unstoppable.
Dude, I like that.
But don't get me wrong, dude. Like, I've had my share. And, I never turned it down, really. But I have buddies that are like, they just want to fucking get laid all the time. And I'm thinking, dude, maybe I'm not doing it right. That's why I asked, like, what's the sex one? What's a man to sex? Like, how do you know if you're fucking nailing it right?
Well, there's you probably read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
Of course.
There's the misuse of sex and then there's the proper use. And the proper use of sex for a man is typically either
procreation.
He's married and it's either like, good vaginal sex with his woman he loves, typically his wife.
Why'd you point out vaginal?
Well, because there's actually a chemical reaction there between vaginal fluid and semen. That's actually that's called the battery effect, and that rejuvenates a man. If it's the other types, or if it's not mixing those two chemicals, it doesn't rejuvenate you in the same way. So you'll either lose energy or gain energy. And if you can't have that, the other option is celibacy to bottle up your energy, because it's an energy game. You're either bottling the energy for creation of something, your purpose maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I'm a creative motherfucker, and it might be because I don't hammer down all the time.
There you go. And that because you're bottling your energy. So you're either bottling it or you're investing it. You're not spending it with whores. And that's the problem in this world is you go on your phone, there's porn in 2 seconds. You got kids who are 8 years old watching hardcore gangbangs on their phones, and this whole world has become a horror society where it's morally bankrupt, and we got every guy wasting all his energy all the time. And then what happens to men is you can get distracted on that shit, lose 10 years of your life, and you lost 10 years of creativity. You know, you take that 10 years, you compound that out over 60, 70 years, that guy's life is nowhere near his potential because being a man's about reaching our potential. That's what it's about. Women want that in men, and men want that in themselves. And men admire that about other men who hit their potential.
Folks, if you guys haven't heard enough to want the book already, I'd get on it. Now, all these books aren't out.
Hard Times is out. You got the first one.
But the other ones you're describing like they're as if they're written.
They're done. Dude, they're done. 2 and 3. Number 3 is shipping in like a week, so it's done. Number 2 is done. It's going into print in maybe like 30, 40 days from now. So probably by the time this comes out, it'll probably be ready. So you can pre-buy them on my site, stefanarnio.com/store. And then the Oracle's written. I wrote it last week. Dude, I got so inspired by one woman. Boom, I wrote that book, 81,000 words in like 9 days. Wrote it, edited it, boom, done, clear, finished. So like that little 4-part series, boom, I'm done. And I'm a writer, dude. I like writing. It's my game. I do 3,000 words in 2 hours. I love it. You know, not everybody's a writer, but I am. So I'll probably have like 20 books or 30 books someday.
By the time you're done, right now, folks, if you go there, it's Aarnio, Stefan, Stefan, Aarnio, stefanarnio.com/store.
You got it.
Yeah, go get those books, kids. I'm gonna read your book now for sure.
Appreciate it, man.
Now, I mean, it was a thick one. I was thinking, fuck, dude, I don't know about this book. and I assumed it was about real estate.
No, man. No, fuck real estate, man. I'm in real estate. I like real estate. I've got a portfolio. I've made $1 million in real estate, whatever. But real estate, I think, is a tool. And I say this, nobody loves real estate, but we love the benefits of real estate. Like, dude, I've been on the road for 3 weeks because I own real estate. I got a company that makes money every day, whether I'm there or not. So you and I get to chat because I have real estate. And that's power and that's freedom and that's good. But, you know, I think you and I are talking about meaning of life. We're talking about a man's purpose. We're talking about bigger things, more powerful things. Like you said, if you're broke, if you have $1,200 like I started, man, you want to make 10 grand flipping a house. But once you have, 300 grand, 400 grand, whatever, some amount of money, it's the same cheeseburger. It's the same truck. It's the same, what hotel are you going to stay at in Vegas? They're all kind of the same after a while. They all are very similar. That you can't even do things with your money, so you start thinking about what's the meaning of life after a while.
Well, you'd stay at the one with all the whores.
Well,
naturally.
But this is the thing. When you have all the whores, dude, those vaginas are all sort of the same. Some of them are a little better, a little worse, but like they're all kind of the same. Technically, yeah, they are kind of all the same. So it comes back to meaning, man. I mean, how much pizza can you eat? How many cheeseburgers can you eat? How many whores can you fuck? How many trips can you go on? How long can you stay on the beach, dude? Like once you're on the beach, I'm bored after like 2 days, man. I can't be on the beach very long.
Yeah, or at least doing nothing.
Yeah.
So,
dude.
So, is your passion writing?
Yeah, man. I think my passion is storytelling. It really is storytelling, and the two things that I'm very good at, one is writing, and then the other one is selling, which turns into marketing when you mix those two things. And that's what I love. Real estate is part of that. It's a tool I use. I have it.
It's just a vehicle.
It's a vehicle.
Make a little coin.
Yeah, man.
Make a little gold.
That's right. And so, yeah, man, writing and really storytelling and living it. I think that's the other thing is like really living it. I'm a living experiment. I go do experiments on myself and I write about them. That's what my books are. Living experiment. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't work. Kind of like your book you got coming out the hard way.
Yeah, it's just fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said the other day I was doing a story and someone said, you gotta learn the shit the hard way so you can learn the shit. And I'm like, dude, that's stupid right there. Like you can learn from other people. You don't need to get your teeth kicked in to learn that you shouldn't get your teeth kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you can learn from other people's mistakes. That's smarter than learning from your own. I mean, it's a level of stupidity to make mistakes and not learn from it. but it's you don't have to learn the same mistakes someone else already learned. Like, we know fire burns. I've never stuck my hand in a fire to see if it's true.
Right.
I just was warned, and I don't think I've ever, well, I mean, I have burnt myself, but you know. You
don't gotta get a flamethrower and douse yourself with gasoline.
No, if you tell me, like, dude, you go down to Costa Rica, you know, you might end up, mugged. Well, good. So when I go down there and I didn't get mugged, it may have been because you warned me.
Right. Yeah. Don't get in the unmarked cab, the illegal cab that'll take you away.
Are there those?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I got in one last time. Fuck.
What do they do?
Well, they rip you off. That's what they do. I
didn't even get in a cab.
They got the real cabs, and then they got like a guy who's like, "Hey, man, come with me." And then you get in this like unmarked cab, and then they're like, "Oh, that's like $25." And you're like, "Bro, you drove me across the street." And
if you don't pay them, you're worried.
Well, it's just like, oh, fuck, whatever, you know.
So let me ask you a question. So you came out of the jungle, and you felt better. You were skinny, probably.
Yeah, it was pretty handsome.
And you decided to go to Florida to see a cancer doctor?
That was something I booked on the way home. So like I had that already booked. So I was like, well, I'm going to go see this cancer doctor, best guy money can buy. And ironically, I never met him. So I lost all my electrolytes, went to the ICU, and I missed my appointment. And I think that's God's way of saying you're not supposed to meet this guy and you're okay. Because who knows what the fuck I would have got into meeting him. Who knows, right? So, it was a good experience. It was life-changing. It really made me surrender and understand that, my ego isn't in control. I had ego death. Like that guy on the paper there, the handsome guy in the suit. Yeah, dude, that's my ego. My ego made me a millionaire, but, my ego could not take me to the next level, and my ego probably made me sick, and my ego capped me, and it kept me where I was. And in the jungle, after 43 days, I had ego death, boom, found God, and I'm a different guy now.
It's like I always tell people, your ego is not your amigo.
We're going to bomb that? Your ego is not your amigo. Dude, that needs to be a poster.
Yeah, well, it's true. So when you say you found God, what did you find?
So what happened was day 43, I was in the hammock, and it was like, I was getting depressed, dude, because I ate watermelon or papaya or whatever it was. And the other years I fasted, I'd eat the fruit and it would solve my problems. You get happy. You'd be like, oh my God, I'm so depraved. And then you'd eat your watermelon and you'd be happy because it solved your problem. Now, 40 days, dude, is a different number. When you get to 40, that's like Jesus, Muhammad. A lot of these religious leaders did 40 days. I did 40 days and I tasted this papaya and it did nothing. My brain did not care. It was like I could have kept fasting. I could have just kept going. I got to this point of just indifference. And so I ate this fruit, and I was sitting in the hammock or lying in the hammock. This is 3 days after the fast, and it was like 8 o'clock at night. It's dark in the jungle, and all the lights are out. And the guy running the place, he's like the last guy who's shutting out the lights. And I'm depressed, dude. I'm getting in my own darkness here. And I go to him, I say, what do you do when you feel so alone? And I'm literally going to have a mental breakdown. Like I'm going to go into the mental institution at this point. Cause like my ego is just holding on, man. It's barely holding on right now. And the guy looks at me and says, well, I find women like half my age or a third of my age, and we have sex and we watch movies and we fly around and have lots of romance, but it never goes anywhere. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, this guy does the same shit that I do. I'm actually like, my brain is imploding now because I wanted him to say, well, I pray or I meditate or I, something better than that. And then I womanize. This guy's like 60 something. And I'm 30, 32, 33, whatever I was at the time. And I'm losing my brain. I'm going, oh my fucking God. I can't just keep womanizing, because womanizing put me in this mess. If we could talk longer about it. I got in this mess from womanizing, dude. I wanted to die. I felt so bad. Boom, got cancer. As soon as I wanted to die, I said, I want to die. Boom, cancer came. And so I'm walking through the jungle to my hut, and it's dark, and it gets darker and darker and darker, and I feel like a trap door is opening under my feet. So it's like, boom, I'm going deeper. Boom, I'm going deeper, and boom, the door keeps opening. I'm like, oh my God. Like I start having like a panic attack almost, and the door keeps opening. Like I go through like 7 of these doors, like boom, deeper, dude, deeper. I'm in my hut by myself. I turn on the lights. I'm going to talk to my friend, prison preacher Johnny, who shared a cabin with me. He's this guy from Texas. He's a prison preacher talking to prisoners, and me and him were doing like a little Bible study. And he's not there. He went home. So his bed's made. I turn on the lights. There's nobody in the hut, just me. And the lights are like blue. And I'm like, oh my God. And I turn out the lights and I'm like, fuck. What am I going to do? Oh my God. I'm having a breakdown, dude. And I go out on the porch and there's no moon, no light, pitch dark, eyes open, eyes closed, looks the same. And I'm feeling like the frogs and the crickets. And there's this like music, this vibration from these frogs and crickets. And I'm thinking, man, Jesus was like 30. He was in the desert. He was fasting for 40 days. I'm like, this is probably how he felt. I think I was 31 when I did this. And I'm almost his age. I probably look like him. I have a beard like him. I'm wearing a robe like him. And I'm thinking, this is probably how he felt. And I'm like, God, I feel so damn alone. And I'm sitting in this chair and I kind of like meditate and I kind of get into the mind of how I think Jesus probably felt. Because I read the New Testament. I had a 100-year-old Bible that my dead grandfather passed to me through the ether. Somehow my aunt gave me this Bible right before I left. She said, Stefan, I don't know why, but I want to give you this Bible. It's your granddad's Bible. I'm thinking, wow, he probably passed that to me knowing like I was in big trouble and I need to find God. So he gave me this Bible. I read this Bible and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is probably how Jesus felt. And I'm sitting in the chair and I feel a snake come up my right leg, like a snake slithering up my leg. And I'm like, oh my God. And the snake comes up to me and it says, you're never going to escape your addictions. You will never escape food and women. And I cracked. Brad, I was like, fuck. And I said, get behind me, Satan. Boom, the lights went on. And that was it. And I went back to my cabin. And I started drawing these diagrams. I wish I could show you these diagrams. I don't have them on me. But immediately everything made sense. It was like the lights went on. And what it was it was an ego death. It was a complete surrender. And immediately, it was kind of like in the Bible, the miracles started happening. All of a sudden, my company's calling me, hey, we did all this and this is working and we made all this money. Everything just clicked all of a sudden. And it came from me in that moment. I was either going to go to the mental institution or you surrender and boom, you found God. And those two things, dude, they're right next to each other. When you see a mental person, that person went left instead of right. Mm-hmm. And it was like they didn't surrender, so now they're mental. And I was either going to be mental, maybe dead, or this is the only way to move on.
So how do you think you surrender without going through all that extreme shit?
Well, dude, I think it depends on how big your ego is. See, like, dude, I had a massive ego. It was super massive, and I was able to just force things and will things the way I wanted. And I think that, I say this, like, God didn't kill me, but damn, he hit me hard. He hit me so hard, I almost died 3 times in the last year. And he hit me so hard, not to kill me, but to wake me the fuck up. And I think that a lot of people out there don't need to be hit as hard as I got hit. Like, I got hit all the way. Like, I lost organs, I got surgery, almost died a couple times, had to go on complete faith into the jungle, all this bullshit. Whereas I think a lot of people can surrender easier than I did. Like, I was probably the hardest person to get to that point. I think most people wouldn't get to that point. They wouldn't even. They would give up, take the chemo, they'd die.
So what's your religion?
I think that's an interesting question because I think that all religions point to the same source. I think there is a source of energy in the universe, and I think we call that God.
But you said Jesus.
Jesus. Well, Jesus, I lived as Jesus did, so I get Jesus.
Well, his name's not Jesus, right?
Well, he's got a lot of names.
No, he's got one.
And what's the name?
Yahshua.
There you go. I mean,
but that's his name, and again, Jesus isn't his name. So I did a lot of research. Still am about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did find is Jesus isn't his name, but yet everyone calls him that. And then when you start to research, well, why are we calling him that? And then it goes down to, when it translated from here to here, they didn't, and you start to realize, dude, that's bullshit. So at the end of the day, why would you call him by another name? And you start to think, this is where I go, we're taught this. I mean, we're taught this stuff, dude. You're saying Jesus because you were taught Jesus.
Right. That's what it says in the book. When I read the book, it says Jesus.
But go back to the scripture, which is what the book was written on.
Yeah, like Aramaic.
Yeah, and it doesn't say Jesus. It says Yahshua. And not only that, God, who's not
Yahweh.
Who's not Jesus. Yeah, Yahuwah or Yahweh or however you want to pronounce it.
Jehovah,
Yeah, so it's like, dude, you start to realize, and then you start doing research, and it's like crazy what I found, which again, I don't really talk about it too much, but I'm just curious as to what religion, quote unquote religion, because again, I don't necessarily believe in religion. I think that's man-made.
It is man-made. Religion is 1,000,000% man-made, dude. But here's the thing. Spiritual realm is the spiritual realm. Those laws are laws. We have spiritual laws. You violate them, you get fucked up. You follow them, you prosper. And I think we can agree on that, right?
I do.
Spiritual laws. And then
and whether you intentionally do it or accidentally do it, it fucking works either way.
That's right.
Like there's people like, I don't know. I never really thought about it. Well, dude, you accidentally fucking did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we are all spirits, right? We're spirits with bodies. And whatever religion you are in, you have a soul and you have a body. And the soul runs the body. And we all have, I think there's a source of energy that's central to the universe. Infinite intelligence, God, the source, whatever you want to call it. I think that the Christian religion in this part of the world has made America prosperous. It's made the West more prosperous than ever in history. This is like the most prosperous place in the most prosperous time. So I think the Christian religion is an amazing, amazing tool. And it's what built our laws. It's what built, like, look at this technology we got here, dude. If we were in the middle of the desert with some other philosophy, we'd be killing each other. We wouldn't be able to build this. So there's an amazing platform there to build off of. And so I really got respect for that Christian religion. And I walked as Jesus did, doing exactly what he did, and I saw what he saw. So I really get him. I think I get him probably more than people who say they get him. You know, I was thinking about him. I'm like, dude, I don't think, you know, I go to a church in Winnipeg, there's 12,000 people in the congregation. I'm like, I don't think anybody over there has done a 40-day water fast and like lived the way he did. And I realized what he did is a map. He said, here's a map. Here's how you can find enlightenment. If you go fast and you do this, you will find that. And, you know, Muhammad did that. A lot of, you know, Moses did. I think he did 40 days.
Well, all the Jews in the middle of the desert did that.
Right, and they reached
lost.
They reached enlightenment, and even Socrates and Aristotle and the Greeks. So in Hard Times, I talk about Plato's The Cave. Have you read The Cave it's Plato's The Cave? It's a story about a man in a cave, and it's dark in the cave, and there's a bunch of men looking at the shadows on the walls. And so these men are, you know, they think that these shadows are reality. It's like people watching TV nowadays. One day, one man wakes up, goes out of the cave, and he sees that the real light is the sun. So he leaves the cave, he sees the sun, he goes, oh my God, the sun is actually the thing that creates all life on this earth. He goes back into the cave. And the question is, if he tells the men in the cave about the sun, will they kill him? And the answer is, assuredly, they will kill him. And that's the story of Jesus right there. Jesus told them about the sun, and they nailed him to the cross and killed him. And Plato in the cave, they knew the same thing. Aristotle, Socrates, those guys, they fasted, they saw that, and they didn't tell the story. And I think that's what makes Jesus magical, is he told the story. The story went in the books, it transmitted across the earth and created prosperity. So whether you believe that that's a magical God thing or if it's just philosophy and a great story, either way it makes us prosper. And so that's really what I'm about, dude, is anything that can make a person survive and prosper better, I'm all about it. I'm all about prosperity, man.
Indeed. Dude, you make me want to go to the jungle.
Dude, let's go this winter. Let's go, man.
Why winter?
Well, dude, in the winter, it's fucking cold. I'm from Winnipeg, so it's minus 40. I go to the jungle, dude. People are like, why you live in Winnipeg? It sucks. I'm like, dude, I go to the jungle in the winter. I don't care.
Huh.
So,
well, dude, I might do that. I'm always down for crazy shit like that because that's what most people won't do. And to get what most people don't get or don't understand, you have to go do these things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stretch yourself. You have to be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
The gain is in the discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
That's why your book, Hard Times Creates Strong Men, all these parents nowadays are fucking up their kids with all this bullshit. Like, I've had people tell me, well, why do you not give your kids everything? And I want to give them a lot, but, you know, why do you not give your kids everything? Your title is why.
You poison them.
Because not only that, but it strengthens them. Do you not want your kids strengthened?
Right.
Like, dude, Hard Times strengthens people.
Yeah, they need muscles, man. Dude, it's like, I love this Ayn Rand quote. She wrote Atlas Shrugged. That's the number 2 most influential book in America after the Bible. And she says, man is the only animal that cripples his children's ability to survive.
Isn't that crazy?
Fuck. I read that. I'm like, oh, fuck, man.
And dude, I bought Atlas Shrugged only because I heard that like almost 100% of all billionaires have read that book.
Yeah, dude, it's huge. That's the capitalist Bible. If you want to be a capitalist, you have to read Atlas Shrugged. And when I was 21, I had a mentor, and he said to me, Stefan, like, I used to be a communist, atheist, feminist, because that's what the university made me. And I came out of school and I met this man. And he said, if you want to be rich, you have to be a capitalist and you have to read Atlas Shrugged. And it'll clean up all your bullshit beliefs about money. You know, like, oh, and, you know, I'm a socialist, whatever. I read Atlas Shrugged, dude. I became a hardcore capitalist in 2 minutes. Like, it turned me around.
That's a thick book, too.
Dude, it's 1,100 pages. And it's dude, like, my book's 600 pages, but it's fun. And it's got pictures and you flip pages fast. And there's some pages.
I got?
Yeah, dude, it's easy. It's an easy
I'm
read.
reading it this weekend on the beach.
Dude, yeah, take it to LA, man. Take it and read it, and then, you know, then get a case and hand them out to all the weak men in your life, you know. But Atlas Shrugged, dude, 1,100 pages. It's thick and it's hard to read compared to Hard Times. Hard Times is an easy read, man.
I'm gonna pay my sons to read your book,
dude. I want to know about that. And you know, if you can do me a review on YouTube or something,
well, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna pay them both to read it.
It's rated R though, dude. How old are they?
Old enough.
Old enough. Old enough for rated R. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're adults.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to pay them to read it just so they actually read it.
Get a book report, man.
That's exactly how they get paid. It's like, here's a book. I'm going to pay you $500 to read it.
Wow.
But I want a full fucking report on every chapter. What does it really mean, the chapter?
Damn.
Well, dude, that's how you trick your kids into getting smarter. Because, dude, I mean, books are so undervalued by most of America, or most of the people in this world. It's unbelievable. Like, dude, pick up a fucking book. It's $20. You find one nugget in there that bettered your life for $20, but yet you'll go fucking celebrate by poisoning your body. You'll go to a bar and fucking slam a bottle of Grey Goose that cost you $300 so you can look cool.
Oh my God.
And literally poison your body to celebrate a win. You're celebrating by hurting yourself. But a book, fuck books. I ain't reading no damn books. Like, dude, that's just stupid.
Well, dude, there's two ways to change the world. One is guns and the other is books. America loves guns, but we don't love books the same way we love guns. And we really do need to get some books because most people don't read a book since high school. And if they do, it's Harry Potter or 50 Shades of fucking Grey, which, you know, is just a bunch of bullshit anyways.
All right, well, listen, I want to have you back next time you're in town. I want to know, other than your books, top 3 books you'd recommend these people in the bomb squad go get right now.
Okay, man. Well, dude, we talked about cancer. So A World Without Cancer by G. Edward Griffin, I think is hot. And I bought it years ago before I had cancer. And when I got cancer, I started fucking read it. I wish I read it in advance. Second one, let's throw out Atlas Shrugged because we talked about that. It's a pretty great book. It's the Capitalist Bible, and it's 1,100 pages, but, dude, it's worth it. Third one I think we should throw down is just a basic, dude. It's Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. That's the original. I cite it a lot in Hard Times Create Strong Men. And I think what Napoleon Hill did in Think and Grow Rich is he took a lot of stuff from the Bible that works and made it secular. So it's the secular Bible, how to wield the spiritual realm without any specific religion.
Folks, listen, man, if I wasn't out of time, it's hour 17. Normally they're an hour. If I wasn't out of time, I could sit here and probably make this the longest episode in history. So, I appreciate you swinging in. I know you had plans, but you shot over here real quick to facilitate my leaving. So I definitely appreciate that. Folks, go get his book, Hard Times Create Strong Men. You can buy it at
hardtimesstrongmen.com.
hardtimesstrongmen.com. Go order that book for not only yourself, but for fucking every dude in your life. And if you're, I believe it or not, I have a bunch of girls that listen, women, females.
Dude, the women love it because they want the men. They want strong men. So they're like, I either want to see what one looks like or I want to give it to my man and fix him up.
Period.
So women have been buying it more than men, dude. It's crazy.
Well, that's where I was going is like, dude, women want strong men. Women want adults. Women want responsible men. And when I say men, I'm talking quote unquote men, like the actual, an actual man. One of these days, dude, I'm going to put together an event where I bring in like Sean Whalen. You know him?
I don't know him.
You know who he is?
Who is he?
He wrote a book called How to Get Shit Done, or no? Anyway, Sean,
something like that.
Yeah, but he sounds a lot like you, dude. Like he went through he made millions of dollars, then fucking lost it all, and then fucking now he's all about truth and like I don't know if he went 40 days in a jungle, but he's right along the same lines. And I'm gonna bring 5 or 6 what I call hand-picked people and put on an event where it's like, dude, we're not selling you nothing. Like we're gonna fucking, for lack of better words, we're gonna fucking preach to you. Right.
Get religion, dude.
Well, it may not be religion, but we're going to preach to you because, dude, it's not hard to succeed.
Yeah.
And so many people are fucking struggling because they're not listening. They're not fucking, waking up, really. And I want to wake people up. Somebody says the other day, it's like, hey, there was a frickin' post I made and it only had 100 people on it. Only 100 people liked it. And I'm like, dude, one of those people that liked that you could have just fucking changed their life. So don't worry about getting 1 million people to like shit. Like fucking dude, 100 people liking something tells you that there's 100 people that you potentially help. Don't worry about numbers, man. Worry about the impact. Know what I'm saying?
It's huge, bro. It's huge.
Folks, listen, man, I got to get rolling. So does he. Appreciate you guys listening to Dropping Bombs. Go out and do me a favor, because I'm not even shitting you. I got like 744 reviews. Now, supposedly, well, not supposedly, according to Libsyn, I get, 70, 80,000 downloads an episode. Then how the fuck is only 744 people giving me a review? So I said to the other day, my friend was walking in the office. I said, I think I'm going to stop doing Dropping Bombs. That's what he said. He's like, dude, you can't, man. They're fucking awesome and everybody loves them. And I'm like, if everyone loves them, why won't they go give me a review? Write a review. 744 people out of 80,000. Like, dude, do people really want to keep listening to these? Because, dude, they, A, I think are filled with fucking nuggets. B, I don't get paid for them. People have offered me advertising. I'm like, nah, I'm just here to fucking get knowledge to people. And it's kind of fun for me. But damn, kids, go out and give me a review. If you're listening to this podcast and you like it, especially this episode, stop what you're doing and go give me a review. Because I'll give it 30 days. If in 30 days I still have 744, then I'm fucking done. I'm going to stop doing this shit. I got better shit to do. I can fucking go out and freaking figure out something to do. But dude, come on, let's make a trade. You go give me a review. I'll keep bringing you badasses like Stefan
Rhymes with effing.
Aarnio. Folks, definitely appreciate you listening. Go give me a fucking review. And Stefan, appreciate you coming in, man.
Thanks, Brad.
Till next time.
That was fun, Brad. Thank you.